This is how your finished Own button looks. You're in Photoshop when you begin it and you go File, New. Now for some reason mine's not going File, New, and see that little selection? That's why. So I have to kill that before it'll let me do File, New. And it's actually this layer. So that way you learn that if something's not working, sometimes you have to figure out why. File, New. The document size is 2.5 inches. It's very small, but I want to see it bigger. So I'm using the magnifying tool. I'm going to go to the marquee tool and select the elliptical, and this is the part you can't see if you don't listen, is you hold down the shift key and it makes a perfect circle when I select it, and it needs to fill up the whole 2.5 area. Now because I'm going to do the University of Utah, I'm going to do a light red. Some of you call light red pink. I think pink's a slightly different color than light red. Now I'm going to select and deselect, and I'm going to do another one. Now remember, if you haven't turned your rulers on, the ruler menu is under Rulers, View, Rulers. I've held down my shift key again. I'm making it 2 inches long. My rulers are off a little bit, so I eyeballed it. Do not go to the pointer tool or you'll make this mistake. Stay in the marquee tool to move it. And you should have about this area. Now I'm going to do my red, my U of U red, and notice that when I dump it in with the paint bucket tool, it has a margin. If you look on your printout, it's called the bend over. This is the bend over margin on the button where you need to clamp it into the real button. Now I've got to go out to my internet and find my U of U logo. So University of Utah and Images, and this is the one I want, so I click and drag it to Photoshop. Remember, your tools don't show up, so you have to pause longer. Notice how big it is. I can measure how big it is by clicking in the ruler and dragging it. It's a little over 3 inches wide, so I want it 1.75. So I'm going to go to Image, Image Size, and the biggest number here, whichever one's the biggest, put it 1.75. Now when I did this before, that is actually a little bit too big, but I'm going to also show you the other way to size it. So we're going to do Select All, a little bit faster than using your marquee tool, Edit Copy, and up here I'm going back to my untitled one. Now you don't want to lose your work, so after I go Edit Paste, I am going to File Save As, because last period the computers went off and everyone lost their work who didn't save, and some people who saved lost their work because it was a corrupt file. So always save as frequently as you're willing to redo the work. I saved it under my initials plus button. Then with the magic wand tool, I'm going to select background, and you can't see this, but I'm hitting the delete key. See how nice that was? And then I deselect it by using the command D instead of the select deselect. Now I'm going to go under Image, it's Edit, Transform, and Scale. I'm holding down my shift key to make this perfectly square to make it fit a little better. And double click it to make it done. Now the last things I'm going to do is make my text white. Go to my text tool. See, that's 18 point? That's a little bit bigger than 12 point, so I'm going to make my text really big And I'm going to, instead of saying go Utes, I'm going to say go Utah. Whoops, wrong letter. Reason I'm saying go Utah is there's a little bit more text in it than go Utes. So when I bend it, it's going to bend a little bit more. Now with the pointer tool, I can bring it down and see the smaller amount of words, the less it bends. That's about perfect. And I could put University of Utah, but that's the whole thing that you need to know. See your 3 layers over here. It's been making new layers as we go. Good job.